the best chocolate cake on the internet. Oh, so moist. Well, it's been a long time since we've had a chocolate cake in this house. Yes, we have chocolate ice cream pie every once in a while, but a chocolate cake, not so much. Do we like chocolate? Oh yeah. The whole family? Oh yeah. Chocolate cake? Oh yeah. You know, when I was a boy, and I'm not a boy anymore, I'm almost 100. When I was a boy, we had a chocolate cake every Sunday for dessert at supper time. Yes, the whole family could hardly wait to get through the roast beef meal to get to that cake. Now, my father was a hard-working construction worker, and he felt like, he got the first piece of cake. So what he would do in front of his whole family, all the kiddies, including me, he would take his dirty old thumb and he would shove it in the corner piece of the square cake. And then he would say, "That's mine." Well, we loved the cakes that my mother made. They were oh so delicious. But as the years went along, I seemed to forget how she did it. So I looked up recipes here and there, cookbooks, internet, YouTube videos, and I finally came up with this cake right here. Moist, they say. Butter icing, they say. In fact, it's chocolate buttered icing. Yummy. And so I made it. Have I eaten it yet? No. But did I taste the batter? Oh, yeah, it was good. Did I lick the icing bowl clean? Oh, yeah. And so here it is. Now, here's one bit of a problem. It took me all day to make it. It's 8 o'clock at night. Would I love a piece of this cake? Yep. So would my wife. So would my family. But, it's not too smart to be eating this close to bedtime. We'll just end up not sleeping, and we need our 8 hours sleep as we age. So I think I'll save it for tomorrow. And when I do, I'll let you know how moist and delicious it is. Was it hard to make? No. I might even give you the recipe.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. Haven't had a piece yet, so. Yep, it's moist and chewy. It's not too much icing, but there's some icing on there.
How would you rate it out of 10?
11.
Wow.
Not gonna last long. I'm gonna eat it in like 2 seconds.
Well, the recipe that I found on the internet, claiming that it's the best chocolate cake ever made, said that even if you made it without a Mixmaster blender, you just threw all the dry ingredients into a bowl, and then you took the wet ingredients and you threw them in the bowl and you mixed it up really well, baked it in the oven, it would turn out just as good as if you had a really expensive blender, Mixmaster, or whatever you call that machine. Well, I've made a lot of chocolate cakes in my lifetime, and this one's pretty close to being the best. So I'll let you in on a secret. This is how you do it. First of all, you get 2 round cake pans. Not too big, just your average size round cake pan. Get a little bit of soft butter, use your fingers and coat the inside of the pan. And then you take a little tiny bit of flour. All-purpose flour is fine, just a half a teaspoon. Throw that in each pan and sort of shake it up and put one on top of the other and bang them together. And then that lightly dusts the butter in the pan so that when you put the cake batter in and it cooks and you try to get it out at the end of the cooking, it comes out very easily. So you do that first, put the pans aside. Then you get a bowl. Now, if you want to use a Mixmaster bowl, that's okay, or you can just get an ordinary bowl. And you take 2 cups, approximately, of all-purpose flour, and you throw that in the bowl. Then you take, I think it's 2 cups of white sugar. So granulated, organic white sugar, just the stuff that everybody uses in their coffee and tea. 2 cups of that, throw that in with the flour. And then, let me think, what is it? Oh yeah, it's 3/4 of a cup of cocoa. So I go to my Bulk Barn store or my Costco store, I buy some organic cocoa, and I put 3/4 of a cup in. Now it might be a cup, might be close to a cup, but it's about 3/4 at least of that. And then you want 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And let me think. Yep, and almost 2 teaspoons of baking soda. So the powder and the soda makes the cake rise a little bit. Right, 2 teaspoons of each. And then maybe a little bit of salt, a teaspoon of salt maybe, half a teaspoon of salt. Oh yeah, and you need 1 teaspoon of ground coffee. So a lot of people buy the espresso. You can buy that. It's kind of just ground up coffee grains. Anyway, a teaspoon of that. Throw that in. That's probably the magic ingredient. And let me think now. I'm racking my brain here. Oh yeah, once you got all that in there, that dry stuff, mix it all up really well. I use my hands. Make sure your hands are clean, or just a spoon. Mix it all up. Okay, now you're going to put the wet ingredient in. You're going to use, let me think. What is it? Oh yeah, it's a cup of buttermilk. Okay? So you could use yogurt, but I use just plain yogurt, but I use a cup of buttermilk. And what else was there? Half a cup, was it? A half a cup of canola oil. So grapeseed oil, canola oil, not just your regular ordinary oil, but canola oil is a better oil for you. And not olive oil, that would be too strong. And then, so a half a cup of that. And 2 large eggs. Throw that in too. Is that about it? Oh, I also put a little bit of vanilla. About 2 teaspoons of vanilla goes in there for flavoring. Have I got it all? One more. This is the magic ingredient that makes it moist. 1 cup of boiling water. But I put everything in there together with the dry ingredients, mix it and mix it and mix it until it's really well mixed. And then I'd get the cup of boiling water and put that in and mix it in. And then you'll think, hey, this is a little bit runny. It's not that runny, but it's more runny than most cake batters with that boiling water. It doesn't matter. So take half of it and pour it into, after it's well mixed, into the one pan and half into the other. And the pans, are about that deep. They should be pretty much full. Yeah. And in the meantime, your oven is preheating up to 350 degrees. And you want the racks close to the bottom, and then you just slide the 2 in there, and in 30 to 35 minutes, it'll be done, both of them. So you take a little skinny knife or a toothpick or something, and you stick it down in, while it's in the oven, stick it right in the center of the cake, and if it comes out dry, they're done. Off goes the oven, out comes the cake. Both of them, you let them sit until they're cold. Yep. But make sure when you shove your little toothpick in or your skinny little knife in the center, it comes out dry. There shouldn't be anything on it at all. So watch it though, around 30 minutes, 35 minutes at the most. Every oven's a little bit different. Good, so now you've got your cake sitting there getting cold, right? Good. Now you're gonna get your bowl, okay? I clean it out too much, just get the bowl that you were using and put in some icing sugar. Yeah, you buy it, it's called icing sugar, it's white. Put that in, how much? A couple of cups, whatever you want. And then a big scoop of butter. Yeah, not unsalted, regular butter goes in there with the icing sugar. And it's at room temperature too, not melted and not cold. Room temperature butter goes in there, mix it up, and you think, maybe I'll dump a little tiny bit of whipping cream in. So this is not whipped whipping cream, just whipping cream in a little carton. Just a little teaspoon or 2. Dump some of that in, mix it up with the icing sugar and the butter. And then think, maybe I'll put some more icing sugar. Maybe a little bit of, maybe a little bit of cocoa. Yep, cocoa powder. Throw that in there too if you want chocolate, whipped chocolate buttered icing. Yep. So you're going to take the icing sugar, the cocoa powder, and the butter, and a little bit of whipping cream, and you just play around with the amounts there, and keep whipping it with your spoon or your spatula or your mix master until it's nice and fluffy. And keep tasting it with your fingers and see what you think. Okay, add more of something that you don't want it too runny. No, you just want it nice and fluffy. So if you had a mix master, you wouldn't have to work at it so much, beating it up, and you'd get it nice and fluffy. Okay, so a little bit of vanilla goes in that too, in the icing. So now let me think about that icing again. So you got icing sugar, you got the butter at room temperature, you got the cocoa powder. You might want to take a couple of little squares of unsweetened chocolate, put them in a little bowl and put them in your microwave and melt them a little bit and throw that in. Get it even chocolatier, the icing. But still use that cocoa powder in your icing mixture and the vanilla for the flavoring. Okay? And the whipped cream. Don't forget that too. And then when you're ready, the cakes are cold. The icing's perfect. You put it in the middle. Put the other cake on top. And then you ice the whole thing. And then take the thing. I have an icing cake plate. You may need it. Some kind of a plate that will hold these two cakes. One on top of the other. You're going to put this into your fridge and let it sit there overnight maybe. If you can't wait, just eat the damn thing. But that's it. I think the secret in all that is the boiling water. Have fun. Let me know how you make out.